is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Adam because he actually has kind of some bad news that came out recently. It is bad news, I think, for him, for Fnatic, for LEC fans, because obviously Fnatic has a very, very big playoff match coming up this weekend and tomorrow, I think, by the time this video comes out, with Vitality. And not only that, but they have a big playoff run ahead of them. They don't need to win one series. They don't need to win two series. They need to win 3 series in a row with no losses. You know, it's a double elimination playoffs, but they're starting out in the losers bracket. They are just, 1 series away from going home. Every matchup is going to be win or go home for them, and they had a good summer split. They have a lot of things trending up, but there is a couple really, really good teams in the LEC. Misfits looked really, really good today against Rogue, and things are going to be tough, but again, when you throw some extra craziness into the mix, I think it could end up being really, really bad, really, really unfortunate for Fnatic. But we're going to be talking about all of that in today's video. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. That is where the VODs of my podcast, Beyond the Rift with I Am Germ, are going to be put up every single week. It's also going to be live streamed on YouTube every Monday, but if you can't be there live, the Patreon is the place to go for the podcast. With that being said, let's get right into this. Again, Adam had this tweet. It's got a ton of interaction, a ton of engagement, a ton of likes. The support is coming out, but it's in French, so we're going to have to translate it and actually figure out what's going on, what he's saying. And unfortunately, it is kind of some bad news, like I was saying. He says, well, I really did not feel well because of the COVID. I tested positive last week. Now, obviously, that is never great to hear, but especially right before the playoffs, right before, like I said, a big matchup coming up and a couple of really, really big weeks ahead for Fnatic. He does go on to say that even though he has no symptoms now, he is going to be playing in this best of 5 against Vitality from home, which is good. He is going to be playing. But even then, I do wonder, how has it affected, his practice schedule, his training regimen? Has he been able to sleep? Has he been able to do much of anything? And then also, even though he has no symptoms, even though he is feeling better now, you can always have some kind of longer term effect from it. It can affect your energy. It can affect just how things are. He could be maybe a little lower energy. Maybe he can be a little bit more tired or lethargic or whatever. If Fnatic does have a really, really tough 5-game series that's just mentally draining, mentally exhausting, it could be a little bit harder for Fnatic and for Adam. Now, yes, he is a 19-year-old kid. Hopefully, he shouldn't have too many long-term issues or even short-term issues. And if he's feeling better, that should be all good to go. But I think it is at least fair to wonder, and at least is fair to ask these questions. And again, maybe it's not the worst news in the world. He is feeling better. He will still be able to play, so that's awesome. It could have been much, much worse. If Fnatic had to bring in a new top laner, or if Bwipo had to go up to the top lane, they bring in a new jungler or something like that, this could have been a whole mess. And it would have really been worst case scenario for Adam, for Fnatic, for fans, for just the LEC. You want to get a competitive playoff bracket. I mean, you want to see who is the best. You want to send the 3 best teams to Worlds, not just the team that was able to beat Fnatic without Adam because he was sick or whatever. So I think that is at least good. But obviously the big news there is that he says he will be playing from home against Vitality. So what is exactly going on? Because, we saw Misfits and Rogue in the studio today. We assume G2 and Mad Lions going to be in the studio tomorrow. But Fnatic actually did tweet out a little post to kind of clear things up. They said, ahead of the summer split playoffs, we wanted to update you about some unfortunate news. Adam did test positive for COVID-19 following the end of the summer split and right after the 3-day break that their players had from the Super Weekend. Fortunately, he is recovering well, but he will be unable to join his teammates in person this weekend. Now, this is really crazy because, again, he was kind of testing positive right after that Super Weekend. So stuff could have been way, way worse. If he's the only positive test from this whole situation and scenario, probably everyone involved is really lucky. Not only the Fnatic players and staff and everyone there, but the other players in the LEC, the broadcasters, the analysts, interviewers, everyone. This could have gotten really, really crazy, really out of hand, and could have had a much worse impact on the whole LEC playoffs. But if it was just Adam and he was just sick for a week and he's feeling better now, obviously that sucks. Obviously that's scary. Obviously you wouldn't want that. But it is kind of best case scenario probably in a situation like this. They said while Adam did test positive for the virus, they asked the players and staff at our Berlin office to get the test in line with Fnatic's policies. Thankfully, they can confirm that there are no additional positive cases. So that's good. They will have the rest of their lineup all ready to go, feeling tip-top. They will have all their staff, all their coaches, everything like that. They won't be missing anybody. And Adam's still going to be able to play, which is good. They do say that in these situations, their first priority is to ensure the safety of their team and support staff. They collaborated with Riot to ensure that the team can still compete with their fixtures in a manner that wouldn't disadvantage the team, and they came up with a solution which will allow Adam to compete remotely while the rest of the team plays in the office. So that is a little bit weird. I think it definitely sucks to a certain extent because I think the online matches we've seen are way less hype, are way less exciting, are way less kind of fun to watch, and actually getting to see the players in the studio. You know, you get to see their reactions, you get to see the interviews right after. Just getting to see them is a really whole nother level in terms of the viewing experience and everything. But obviously, again, getting to see them play even remotely is going to be better than nothing. But it will be interesting to see how exactly it works out with 4 of the players being in the office and then Adam being, you know, back at his home or whatever. There's always connection issues, DCs, lag, you know, so many different things to worry about. So hopefully it goes smooth. Hopefully it goes without a hitch. Hopefully there's not like a million pauses and stuff like that to worry about, because that can also really suck as well. Or if Adam's like lagging or whatever, you know, we don't want any of that. But these are, excuse me, these are just kind of some of the first things that are actually coming to my mind. So hopefully we won't have any of that, but these are possibilities. You never know. But again, it is cool that they still will be able to play. They said until then, their focus is solely set on ensuring our players have as much support as possible going into their first match of the playoffs and hopefully continuing their playoff run. And I do think that is a big thing. You know, like I said, maybe he hasn't been able to practice a ton. Maybe he's still not feeling 100% back. Maybe these couple of weeks off, or, you know, the days off, which are supposed to get you well rested, ready to go for a big playoff run, everything like that. Maybe those haven't been ideal for Adam, but you know, he is still a young kid. He should still be able to bounce back well from this. But also, Fnatic has their easiest match of this whole playoffs against Vitality, and if they do win, then they'll have a couple more days off until Misfits. And if they win that, they'll have a couple more days off until the loser of G2 Mad Lions. So, you know, as this thing goes on, Adam should hopefully get to feel better and better. Hopefully they will eventually be able to get back into the studio if they do continue to win. And hopefully this whole situation will just end up being kind of a scare and really hopefully a non-story in the end. But it is still definitely something I think everyone should know about. Everyone should kind of keep in mind. It will be interesting to follow and see how Adam looks, because he is a rookie in his first playoff series, in his first playoff match. And again, there's a ton of pressure. This is just one shot for Fnatic. They are a team that had a good summer split, but qualifying for Worlds is no guarantee, nothing like that. This could very easily go bad for Fnatic very, very fast. And again, there's already going to be a ton of stress, a ton of pressure on Adam, and you throw in a little extra craziness, you throw a little extra sickness in there, and maybe you have a recipe for disaster. I don't know. It is going to be interesting to follow for sure. I'm definitely going to be watching to see how Adam looks, how the team looks, how they're able to make all these things work. But I do know for sure that Fnatic has a long, tough road ahead of them. Misfits looked very, very good today. They look very, very scary, and that's definitely not a team you want to look past. And then that's not even beginning to talk about Vitality, who could be a scary team as well, but then also the loser of G2 and Mad Lions. So things are not going to be easy for Fnatic. Things are not going to be easy for Adam no matter what. But now you throw this in there, and I don't know. Things just aren't looking good. This is definitely some bad news for Fnatic. Hopefully they'll be able to fight through it. Hopefully they'll be able to overcome. But yeah, like I said, I'm skeptical at this point, but we'll have to wait and see on Sunday. I'm definitely excited for that matchup and excited for this whole weekend of games. So many good games, so many good matches, just some good League of Legends. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I'd appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Are you worried about Adam? Are you worried for Fnatic? Or do you think this is kind of no big deal? They'll be fine. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.